Welcome into WFRV Sports Night. I'm Carson Fowler. Kyle Malzahn on the injured reserve. Just kidding. Sort of. He's taking some time off. But we've got some crazy news. Not exactly news, but Micah Parsons, his season's over. He tore his ACL. MRI confirmed it. And now the question is, where do the Packers go from here? Because Parsons, from what I'm reading here, led the NFL with 64 pressures. And the next closest Packers player in terms of pressures on this team is Rashawn Gary with 28. That's a 36 pressure difference. So how did the Packers make that up? There's a lot of different ways to go about it. I think the one thing is you have to hope that Rashawn starts playing a lot better. You got to hope that Lucas Van Ness starts playing a lot better. He's coming back from that injury. You got to hope that JJ, Kingsley, and Igbari starts playing really good football. And you got to hope that the Packers can stop the run because, man, they could get exposed in the throwing game. Because yesterday, I want to say the halftime score was 16-14. And the Denver Broncos went on to score 20 points in the second half. A lot of it was Bo Nix. 300 yards through the air, 300 plus actually, 4 touchdowns. That's a lot. Packers secondary got exposed. Keyshawn Nixon, for example, several occasions is getting absolutely toasted by Cortland Sutton. Sorry for saying that on air, Keyshawn, but I think you'd agree with me. Yeah, just kind of hard to digest all of this. Yesterday, Kyle Malzahn and I went on air. And we discussed what the fear was. The fear was a torn ACL. Was not confirmed until today. And it was just like, man, like how quickly things can just flip on you in this league. The Packers were up 23-14 with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Up 2 score, more than a score, with the ball. And then Christian Watson goes down. And then Micah Parsons goes down. And you're like, what the bleep just happened? Like, the Packers, in the span of actually under 15 minutes of real time, went from being legitimate Super Bowl contenders, like number 1 team in the North, 2nd seed in the NFC, to, oh my God, the Packers even gonna make the playoffs? I mean, you got to go at Chicago next week, this coming Saturday. You then get the Ravens at home on prime time with Lamar Jackson and company. And then you have to go and play the Vikings, who just beat a pretty decent Cowboys team that, oh, by the way, you tied earlier this year. So the Packers could go 2-1 the rest of the way, win 11 games, be, 11-5-1? Or did I do that right? Yeah, 11-5-1. They win 2 more games. They might not even win the North. And that might not even get them into the playoffs. My God, who knows if this Lions team decides to start playing better. You just never know. Now, granted, the Packers do have a 2-game lead on the Lions, and the Bears have to play the Niners. They have to play the Packers, and they have to play the Lions week 18. So the Bears could also lose out, but I think that's a big talking point. The Packers losing their star edge rusher, it probably at easily the most important stretch of the season. I mean, there's obviously never a good time to lose your best player on defense. I don't think that's a stretch to say at all. So they're never a good time for that. But for it to happen right as the playoff push, it's just a slap in the face. I mean, this team had everything going for itself. Playing really good football, complimentary football. You just beat the 10-win Bears. Or 9, they were 9 wins left. They're 10 wins now. Top of the North. Complimentary football, like I said. Your offense looks amazing. Jordan Love is playing really good football. Like 9 touchdowns, 1 interception in the 4-game win streak. Like really, really good. Or 7-1. 9-1 or 7-1. I can't remember off the top of my head. Just heartbreaking. Your heart feels for Micah Parsons because he's just such a competitor. You never want this to happen to anyone, and no one would ever wish it upon anyone. But it's like, man, for a guy that was just scratching the surface on what is possible for an edge rusher, that's Micah Parsons. 12.5 sacks on this team. Easily the team's leading edge rusher / threat on defense, at least at the defensive line. And the first player in NFL history to have 12 or more sacks in each of his first 5 NFL seasons. I mean, like, Yeah, it sucks. There's really no way to sugarcoat it. I know we're supposed to be unbiased, but I'm hurt. Like I feel for this team. I feel for this city, this organization that has just been dying for some championship aspirations. And when Brian Gutekunst made this move all the way back in August after training camp, everyone was thinking, oh yeah, Super Bowl 60 is coming to Green Bay. It's been 15 years. Packers won Super Bowl 45. 15 years without a Super Bowl appearance. The closest they got was 2020 against the Buccaneers, taking on Tom Brady. And they lost here in Green Bay. It's really going to be about how Micah Parsons comes back from this injury. You just handed the guy the largest contract for a non-quarterback position player ever. $186 million extension for 4 years. $44 million a year. 44. And what is he going to be after this rehab? Man, I hope he's everything that he was. Even 90%. Man, I'd even take 50%. There's a lot of questions to be answered. A lot of people are soul searching right now, asking why this happened. But I think the guy that's going to have to step up the most, and it's not a player on this Packers roster, it's Jeff Hafley. You're the defensive coordinator. You've got to figure it out. You had a stellar defense last year that forced a load of turnovers. You got to get back to that because you're not going to have your monster in the trenches that's going to sack a guy 3 times a game anymore. It's not going to happen. We're not going to see a 5-sack game from this Packers team. And if we do, God bless. That'd be awesome. But I don't see that in the foreseeable future. You got to start dialing stuff up with Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams. You got to play a little bit more man. You gotta blitz the quarterback. I think the Packers have been very fortunate to have a guy like Micah Parsons where they don't need to bring that 5th guy and they can play zone and they can have 2 safeties in a 2-high show. But now they don't have Micah Parsons. So it's like, really got to switch things up. I'm not even saying it's a good thing. I would say the only good that could come of this is this Packers defense is going to look so much different that all of the tape that any NFL team is going to watch on them moving forward is almost moot because they're going to have to switch things up. They're going to have to play a different brand of football. They're not going to be able to just sit back, have their secondary, do whatever, and let Micah Parsons go about his business. It's not going to happen. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe this Packers team rises to the occasion and beats up on a really good Bears team that just won by 28 versus the Browns. Oh yeah, by the way, the Packers, granted it was week 3, lost to the Browns 13-10 on a game-winning field goal from Andre Schmidt. And I want to say that Myles Garrett had 2 sacks, and as a total, the team had 5 or 6. That was another thing. God, man, could that offensive line not protect Jordan Love? Man. 3 sacks in the second half alone, 15 quarterback hits. It's too much. It's too much. You can't be doing that. Jordan Love is very, very good against the blitz, but I'd feel for him when he's getting hit on what feels like every single one of his dropbacks. Jordan Love threw the ball 40 times, and he was hit on 15 of those throws. Now, if I do my math, that's a little under 40%. So pretty much 2 out of every 5 times he threw the football, he was getting hit. Doesn't mean he was getting sacked, but he was getting hit. Oh, there's a lot to dissect from this Packers-Broncos game yesterday. The injuries, Christian Watson, we didn't even hit on yet, but that's a guy to discuss in the near future. But I think we'll take a quick break here on Sports Night, and when we come back, we'll talk Christian Watson. We'll talk about this Bears team that's going to be, man, just a really tough rebound after a really heartbreaking game in Denver. But we'll take a break, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back to WFRV Sports Night. Carson Fowler here, your host. No Kyle Malzahn, no Cameron Ezair, no Brianna Reinhardt, no Burke Griffin. So you just got me, and we're going to talk Christian Watson because for everything that we talked about in that first block there, I didn't even touch on Christian Watson, who, man, his injury actually is very, very big for a lot of reasons. Packers really just couldn't do anything in the later portion of that second half without him. The offense looked stale. They couldn't take the top off. The spacing was bad. I think we kind of figured out who Dontavian Wicks is. He had that amazing game on Thanksgiving, 2 touchdowns, 90+ yards versus the Lions. But man, he's just been a no-show the last few weeks. I know he's been dealing with injuries. Packers really got to get Matthew Golden going. 4 receptions, I want to say, for 55 yards. One of his better outputs, but man, it's like, where has he been? And I don't know if it's his fault or if it's the team's or if it's Jordan Love's, but he has just not been involved at all, man. Just not at all, which is brutal because he was the Packers' first-round draft pick. Like, what are we doing? It's like having Jordan Morgan sit on the bench. There's a couple other guys you could actually discuss about that. Tyron Hopper's a good example of that linebacker, 3rd-round draft pick. I want to say last year. That has just not really done anything, but it's tough with his linebacker core between Quay, Coop, and McDuff, because 3 of them are pretty solid, but you got a guy that's pretty talented on the bench. Not playing. That's a whole other discussion for another time, though. Let's talk more about Christian Watson. 9 touchdowns over the Packers' 4-game winning streak, 17 receptions. That's 4 receptions, and did I say 9 touchdowns? I think I meant 5. See, now I'm double checking. I think I meant to say 5. Yeah, I'm sorry. 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns, 17 receptions in 4 games. That's still amazing. Don't get me wrong. That's a touchdown or more in every game that he's played in this stretch in 4 catches. So that's at least 6 targets. I'm looking at this chart of receivers. Christian Watson and Tucker Kraft, having played in just 8 games each, are the team's 2 top receiving threats, with Romeo Doubs being number 1. Having played 14 games, 47 receptions, 578 yards. Man, this is just brutal. Matthew Golden is 4th with 341 yards, 27 receptions this year in 11 games. Oh, I really just don't know where the answers are going to come from, on offense, because, man, no Tucker Kraft was a given already. Hopefully Christian Watson isn't out for a long extended period of time. He did fly home with the team. Him going to the hospital was a precaution for had he broken a rib or done something to his clavicle, his collarbone, could have punctured a lung, which is, from my understanding, a pretty common injury that can happen when you suffer a force of that magnitude from your elbow into your chest. But man, Christian Watson's a big blow. Big blow for a lot of reasons. He's also on my fantasy team. Ugh. He was doing very well for me. So that's a little, who cares about fantasy, but I do. Ryan Kudish probably does as well. Let's talk about this Bears team. How big is this game now that the Packers are with? I wouldn't even say it's how big is this game. It's more like, I think we're going to learn a lot about this Packers team, a lot about Matt LaFleur, a lot about this defensive group in this game against the Bears, who just throttled Cleveland, 31 points. The run game looked good. The passing game looked good. DJ Moore looked good, who did not look good against the Packers 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Bears scored. I want to get these exact numbers. I got it here. Now, granted, Browns might be 3-11 now, but you guys forget they have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Top 4, probably, with Myles Garrett. 242 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, and 142 yards in the ground, 4.3 yards per carry. Really just brutal. Brutal on all accounts. This is not going to be an easy game. DeAndre Swift had a hell of a game. 18 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, and the defense, forced 3 turnovers, all interceptions. Not good. Not good. This is going to be a tough game. Bears are also 5-1 at home. Let's see who their loss was. Oh my God, it was week 1 against the Vikings. That's right. 27-24. Well, they're a much different team than they were week 1. Now, the question is, will Rome Odunze be back next week? Because that's a piece that was not on the board when the Packers played them in Lambeau. Oh, there is just so much to discuss when it comes to the Packers right now. And I'm having trouble finding the words because it just sucks. It sucks reporting on this. Like, I obviously want the best for this Packers team. Do I care when they lose or when they win? No. But do I wish for their success? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would never want to see Micah Parsons or even a Carl Brooks or Jamon Johnson get injured. Because it's like, you just never want to see that. You never wish that on anyone. Ugh. And like I said earlier, I feel like we're going to learn a lot about this Packers team. I mean, I just felt for Matt LaFleur. That press conference was just, man, he just looked so defeated. Because even had the Packers won, let's say the score flipped, he'd have been like, doesn't even matter. LaFleur would have sounded the same. He'd have been like, win's a win, but what's a win when you lose Micah Parsons and Christian Watson? Just brutal everywhere, and it sucks. But there's 3 games left. It's not about how this team, it's really about how this team responds to this adversity. It's not the adversity itself. I said that on air tonight. It's not the adversity itself that's going to define this football team. It's going to be about how they respond. And Matt LaFleur has been very, I would say, coy about how his team has gone about its business this year, how they go about their process. He's very big about the process. He was very, 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 what's the word? Complimentary, very complimentary about how Christian Watson returned from his ACL injury, how he battled back, made it back in under a 300-day period, under 9 months, or a little more than 9 months, a little more. But can Micah Parsons do that? I don't know. Ugh. Just so close to the finish line. And a non-contact injury too. Oh. Also, if you're wondering why I've got the vest on, it's because it's actually 60 degrees in this room. Super cold. It's not just Green Bay, it's everywhere. It's the CTV WFRV Plus studio too. At least Wisconsin volleyball is doing well. That's probably something worth talking about, but we're talking Packers because that's the story right now. But I think we're going to take a little break. I'm getting a little tired of repeating myself and just being sad. So, again, don't want this to be confused for that. I'm sad for the Packers. It's more like I'm upset at everything they accomplished, and it's not that it's all for nothing. It's just that it's all going to be a lot tougher. Everything ahead of them is going to be a lot tougher. Yeah, there's that. All right, let's take a quick break here on WFRV Sports Night, and we'll see you back in a second. Welcome back to WFRV Sports Night with no one else. I'm Carson Fowler because I'm the only one doing the show because I'm the only one that likes to work in this department. But nah, I'm just kidding. Kyle Malzahn, Cameron Nazaire, shout out. Bert Griffin as well. Brandon Reinhardt, you guys do a terrific job. Just love doing CTV. I actually asked our evening anchor, Tom Zalaski, if he would do the show. He said, can't, sorry. Really? Well, you never know. What should we talk about now? Let's just do NFL pick'ems because I'm kind of tired of talking about this game. Let's do scores for next week.
What's McValue at McDonald's?
Week 16. All right, Thursday Night Football is a really good one. I totally forgot about this. Rams Seahawks in Seattle. Now, Rams just put up 41 on the Lions. And the Seahawks needed 6 field goals to beat a Colts team led by Phillip Rivers, 44 years old, by the way, coaching high school football a week ago. I'm going to take the Rams in this one. They just kind of look like a juggernaut. I'm also not sure, but I'm pretty sure the Rams beat the Seahawks earlier this year. Yeah, they did, 21-19. There you go. I thought I had that right. Yeah, I think they sweep them. I'll go
With McValue at McDonald's.
I will go Rams on Thursday Night Football. Eagles Commanders on Fox on Saturday, followed by Packers Bears. Probably taking the Bears, just the way they're playing and, everything the Packers are dealing with. Eagles Commanders. Eagles looked terrible against the Chargers last week. They did just beat the Raiders by 31, though. I'll go with the Eagles.
Value at McDonald's. You'll
I'll go
get
with the
more
Eagles.
than you.
That line is -6.5, though, so that's saying something. Philly, of course. Bills, Browns. Bills, duh. Sorry. Although that would be hilarious if the Browns beat the Bills and just ended their playoff hopes, or at least hopes to win the division in the AFC East. Chargers, Cowboys. Oof. In Dallas. Low-key, give me the Chargers. They've been playing really good football recently. Very good defense there, led by Derwin James. Got some pieces out there, man. Chiefs, Titans. Is it crazy to say Titans? No Patrick Mahomes. That team's defeated. They've got nothing to play for. Titans have not won a home game this year, but the Chiefs are 1-5 on the road. Give me the Titans. Bengals, Dolphins. Bengals have nothing to play for. Dolphins have everything to play for. Give me the Dolphins. Jets, Saints. Ugh. God, just the battle of awful and awful-er. I guess Saints? Maybe Jets? I don't know. Give me the Saints. Why not? Tyler Shough time, I guess. Buccaneers, Panthers, 7-7 versus 7-7. It's in Charlotte. I think they're actually going to play each other 2 times to end the year. Yeah, they are. So Panthers at home. Loki gave me Tampa Bay. I feel like the Panthers are just
McValue at McDonald's. You'll get more
fraudulent. They win a game, they lose a game. Like, it is crazy. The last 6 weeks now? Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. What? Just weird. Anywho, we're in Tampa Bay. I'll give them
with McValue at
my God,
McDonald's.
this ad plays again. Oh wow, that's a really good game on Fox at 3:05. Jaguars, Broncos. Oh my God, give me the Broncos though. That's a great game. It'll probably be a good one. Broncos are 7-0 at home this year. You got Falcons, Cardinals. Gosh, the Cardinals are 1-6 at home this year. Jeez. Give me the Cardinals. Falcons have nothing to play for. Why not? Trey McBride, beast. Steelers, Lions. Wow. That's a game with a ton of implications. Steelers need to win badly to keep hold of the AFC North. And Lions, I think they have to win that game to stay in the hunt. I think. Probably not have to, but they should. Raiders, Texans. Texans look absolutely unbeatable recently. I want to say they've won like 7 straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, got to quickly finish this up. Patriots, Ravens on Sunday Night Football. Pats, Ravens. Ooh, Patriots have not lost on the road yet this year. Give me the Pats. Why not? And then Monday Night Football, Colts, 49ers. I kind of think the Colts could get it done. 6-1 at home this year. The one loss coming to the Texans 2 weeks ago. Jonathan Taylor hasn't been playing that well. He could turn it on any moment. They're probably going to lean on him more, too, without DJ. That's Daniel Jones. Give me the Colts. Why not? All right. I think that'll pretty much do it for another episode of WFRV Sports Night here at WFRV. Micah Parsons, torn ACL. Wisconsin volleyball headed to the Final Four, and the Milwaukee Bucks are butt. I think that'll pretty much do it. Have a great rest of your night, folks, and we'll see you next time.